So whenever a planet goes retrograde, you should look at it. Instead of screaming Mercury retrograde,
which we all do.
Mercury retrograde. Please simmer down. The point of any planet retrograding is to teach you something. It is not just to put obstacles in your path just for the sake of it. It puts obstacles in your path so that you can learn about the area of your chart that's being activated. So take the time, look at the planet that's retrograding, look at what signs it's retrograding, signs it's retrograding into, and where that sits in your house system, because every planet has a cycle of retrograding. So let's say you take Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrogrades in the same element every year. So last year it was the earth element. So it retrograded in Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo last year. This year it's going to switch into a new element. Because they are all elemental, you can then look in your chart and notice which houses are being activated. And the houses are actually connected with Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. My third house was being activated, which is the house of communication. My seventh house was being activated, which is the house of partnerships and relationships, one-on-one communication. And then my 11th house is being activated, which is the house of social interactions. So it went from me thinking about how I communicate, how I learn, to talking to one-on-one others, and then to talking to a group of people. And it will happen like that every year for each person. So a sign will go through, it'll retrograde back, and then it'll go through. When I went through the Taurus retrograde of communication, the first pass, I was finding myself getting into arguments with people because I was being so rigid about my beliefs. And then when it retrograded, I found myself in a situation where I was like, oh, but this and that are true. They can both be true at the same time. And then
so the retrograde had you realize that.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then when it went again, I was able to implement that change.
Gotcha.
And so when I say activate, I mean it's a lesson that's going to be learned.
Okay.
So instead of screaming, oh my God, everything's crazy, please take a deeper look, because that's how we actually realize the messages that are being sent to us, is by sitting with them and not thinking of it as it's just that time. Don't sign any contracts. Don't do this. Don't do that. No. You still have to live your life and do the things. Just know that there are lessons that will be taught to you through these things. And if you avoid those lessons because there's something retrograding, then you're not actually
growing.
Right. You're skipping the assignment.
Yeah.